This conference will now be recorded.
Hello all, good morning. Welcome back. Sorry for the late. Today some demo happened, new batch demo. So they are asking many questions one by one. So it's a bit delayed for our session. Fine. Now let us start the session.
Yes, sir, but yesterday I tried the configuration, but it's showing pending status.
Which one?
Yeah.
You're comparing?
Yeah, config, but it's showing pending status, sir, all pods under.
Okay, pods are showing pending status, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir, but
I think you did some mistake. Okay. So you can send me the screenshot today. In the group you already sent, right? Yesterday?
yeah, yes, no, sir, no, some other person shared.
Oh, okay.
Same problem I'm facing. Sir.
I see. We'll see that. Don't worry. We'll see that. Fine. Yeah. Today we are going to cover Kubernetes containers. What is Kubernetes container? We understand Docker container, right? So the same way, the same containers we use in Kubernetes also. We'll try to understand in Kubernetes how the containers will work, what are the things available, how to configure, right? What is Kubernetes networking? So what is pod IP? How to communicate pods? We'll try to understand today. Kubernetes containers. Yeah, what is basically container? So container అంటే ఏంటండి? So you are aware of container, right? What is container? So container is it will work like a box. We can move anywhere. We can use anywhere, right? It is a lightweight environment, right? It is a lightweight environment. So we can work. We can download anywhere. We can use anywhere. We can move anywhere. So when we run container, only in the container library and binary files will be available, right? Lightweight environment. It is not full-blown operating environment. It will be lightweight environment. So while deploying the code, so we can perform deployments very quickly, and also deployment downtime will be reduced. So when we use containers, deployment time and downtime will be reduced. So containers are advanced to virtual machines, right? Fine. For example, so this is my operating environment. This is my operating system. This is OS. So on top of this, what we will do? Okay, so here we run container engine. We run container engine. Here we'll have some layer which is image, right? So Docker image or Kubernetes image. We use this. So Kubernetes, basically Kubernetes containers, we don't use image. We should not call it as image. I can remove this. Okay, so here we can run container engine. So pods will be there, but container engine also will be there. Container engine, right? So on top of this, what we will do? we deploy applications. On top of this, we deploy applications. Applications, right? Yeah. So here operating system, yeah, applications will be depend on some dependencies. Applications will be depend on some dependencies, and container will be depend on operating system, right? This application will be depend on containers. Containers will be depend on operating system, right? So on container applications will run on container applications will be run. Okay, container will run on containers will run on container engine, right? Container engine will run on operating system, right? For example, we have some Python application, some development activities going. So this is Python application, for example. So Python application is running. So this Python application will depend on some dependencies. So it will depend on some dependencies. So it will depend on some dependencies, and this application, okay, will depend on this application will depend on this dependencies will depend on container engine. This is container engine. Okay, so this container engine will depend on operating system. So why I'm explaining this process? Okay, because yeah, we'll go with a different activity. That is why I'm giving this basic things. Yeah. This container engine will depend on some operating system. This is operating system, OS. Okay, so normally when you want to deploy any application or when you want to run any project, so in Kubernetes environment, so we use this flow. Okay, applications, whatever applications we are running, those will be depend on some dependencies, and that applications and dependencies will be depend on container engine. Container engines will depend on operating system. Okay, yeah, and also if you discuss about some virtualization concept, virtualization. Okay, so for example, this is VM in virtualization, VMware environment. For example, this is VM. This is VM. So inside of the VM, what we will do? We deploy some applications, some apps. We deploy. So this apps will depend on some dependencies. Okay, dependencies, and this dependencies will depend on some layer which is VMware or hypervisor. VMware or hypervisor, Hyper-V, right? So this VMware will depend on operating system. This is OS. Okay, so this is the normal process in every project they follow. Okay, so applications will depend on container engine, some layer that will be depend on operating system, right? Fine. Next one is Kubernetes networking. In Kubernetes networking, yeah. So these are the, for example, we have 3 nodes. These are the nodes, node 1, node 2, node 3. Okay. So this node, each node will have one IP address. So node 1, node 2, node 3. Okay. And inside of the nodes, every node will have pods. This is pod, right? Instead of the pods, we'll have containers, different containers like this. So each pod will have one container or more than one container also, like this, right? Fine. So these containers, this node missions will connect. For example, if you want to deploy any application, or if you want to, if you want to create any network for these nodes, yeah, right. See here, deployments normally, if you want to deploy any application, deployments will be deployed on pods. Okay, so deployments normally happen on pods only. Instead of the pods, here we have containers. So these are the deployments normally. If you want to deploy anything here, deployments will be happened on through network. Deployments will be happened on node missions. Okay, on top of the deployments, service will be available. Okay, service will be maintained by the deployment. Okay, service will be here, service will be available. So inside of the service, some labels also we configure here. Labels. Okay, service will be depend on deployments. Deployments will be happened on node servers in the network. Okay, fine. Next one is pod. Okay, so one by one we are going these components. Okay, pod. Next one is pod. For example, let us try to understand. Open this one more. Pod is nothing but it is a group of combination of some container. Yeah, pod. For example, this is one pod. This is one pod. Okay, pod is having one or more than one containers available here. For example, this pod. This is container. And we have one more container here. This is one more container, container 1, container 2. This is pod. Container 1, container 2. Right? Yeah. So every pod will have some IP address. Pod will have IP address like 172.17.0.10. And also container will not have any IP address. Containers will work based on port numbers. For example, this container is having 8080 port number. This container is having 9300 port number. Okay. For example, if you want to communicate your container using pod IP, we can communicate. Okay, using pod IP only, we communicate our container. So when you search your IP address of your container, this IP will be available for the both containers. So both containers will have this same IP. So if you connect your container, if you log in your container, if you check your IP address, pod IP will be available here. Okay, container will not have any separate IP. So in Kubernetes, we don't use IP for container. Containers will work based on port numbers. Okay, let us go and connect our console once. So log into master, Kubernetes master, and we'll see some important things. Centers. Okay, we can start nodes also because no need to connect nodes, but we need to start the nodes. Otherwise, if you want to check any deployments, those will not be available. No. Multiple containers, we cannot use same port number. So every container will have their own port number. Okay. So we cannot use one port for multiple containers. Right. Fine. Now sudo su-kubeadmin. Let us switch to Kubernetes kubeadmin, right? Kubernetes admin. Kubeadmin. Yes, ls here. These are the deployments yesterday we performed, right? Now I want to check the pods first before before going to pods. Yeah, first I'll check nodes, cube, ctl, get nodes. So these are the nodes available, right? This is our cluster. So 2 nodes available, 1 master is available. Next one is kubectl get pods. Kubectl get pods. So these are the pods. These are in completed state. So not started, okay, because we just started this servers, right? Node servers. It will take some time to start. Few minutes to start this. Status would be changed to running. Okay. So if you refresh this, see here, now it is started running. Right? So it will take some time to move to running state. Fine. Yeah. Next one is we are able to see the pods, right? So I want to check pod IPs. I want to check pod IPs. Okay. How to check the pod IPs? The command here is kubectl get pods space -o space wide, WID wide, right? To check pod IPs. Enter. See here. These are the IP addresses, pod IP addresses, IPs. See here. This is the pod IP. This is the pod name, running state. Okay. So this is the pod IP. Okay. Next one is So if you want to describe any pod, if you want to check any pod details, right? If you want to check any pod details, for example, kubectl get pods, you can open this. So these are the pods available. So I want to check one pod details. This pod details I want to check. Okay, this is a pod, right? I want to check this. For which command here is kubectl describe space pod name. This is the pod name. You can give here, paste here, space, and application name is HTTPD1, right? HTTPD. You can give. Enter. The server does not have. Okay. kubectl describe pod check here. These are the pods available. kubectl describe pod my Linux. See here. For example, if you want to get information about pods information, see here, Nginx pod. Okay, so I'm trying to get this Nginx pod information, right? So deployment information. See here. So these are the details available. So container details, container information. Okay, and events, volumes, conditions, right? So many things are available. So if you want to check all the information about your pod, so command here is, this is the command, kubectl describe pod. This is the pod, my Nginx pod. Okay, this pod information I'm trying to get here. Okay, so now it is showing all the information about the pod, right? So next one is, so these are the important commands. So yeah, slowly we are going to some other activities. That is why I'm showing this. Clear the screen. Yeah, now if you want to check all the services, okay, kubectl get services. See here. So whatever services we have in our Kubernetes, these are the services running currently. So HTTPD1, Kubernetes service, my HTTPD, my Nginx. These are the services currently running, right? And also, if you want to check namespaces of your deployments, your pods and deployments. Namespaces means, what is namespaces? I'll show you that. To check namespaces, kubectl get pods space hyphen all hyphen namespaces. Someone asking some question. How to check the port number of, yeah, I'll show you. We are going right. See here. So these are the namespaces available for the pods, whatever pods are available inside of our Kubernetes, okay, Kubernetes cluster. So for that, these are the namespaces. Here it is showing default and kube system, right? Like this, all the namespaces. Namespace, name, just like name. So we can customize the name also here. If you want to customize the name, you can customize. Okay, how to customize? I'll show you. Okay, to check this, you can give the command like this. Okay, to check this namespaces, kubectl get pods hyphen all hyphen namespaces. Right. Next one is if you want to check particular deployment, okay, if you want to check all the deployments, the command here is kubectl get deployment. So to check the deployment, these are the deployments, okay. So if you want to check particular deployment, so for example, I want to check only my Nginx deployment, okay. Command here is kubectl get deployment space deployment name. If you want to check only particular deployment details, okay, you can check like this. This is having 5 pods, right? 5 pods are in available state, up to date, right? Next one. If you want to delete any pod, okay, so command here is kubectl delete pod and pod name. So these are the pods. If you want to delete any pod, you can delete. And next one is if you want to edit any pod, if you want to edit any pod, okay. So edit means what we can edit? The manifestation we can edit, right? For example, these are the pods. I want to edit something here. Instead of the one pod, I want to edit something, okay. So how can we edit that? So command here is kubectl edit pod space pod name. For example, I want to edit this. Enter. So this is the manifest file. See here. So every pod will have some manifestation. API version v1 kind pod metadata. Okay. So app HTTP v1 and spec containers. See here. Yeah, this is the container image, container name, image name, and also here we have resources. Okay. This is the container name, image pull policy, always. Okay. So all these things are available. Okay. So if any pod is corrupted, first we need to check this manifestation. We need to edit that pod. We need to go to the pod and we can check the manifestation. So anything corrupted here, anything goes wrong here, we need to check all these things. If any image is corrupted or any container is corrupted, okay. So we can edit that pod and we can check one by one all these things. Okay. And next one is if you want to go inside of the pod, the command here is, for example, I want to go to inside of the pod. Yeah. From here, if you want to exit, shift column Q. Okay, quit. Right. Now I want to open one pod here. Okay. I want to check one pod here, for which command here is kubectl execute exec space hyphen it and pod name. This is the pod, for example. Give the pod name space hyphen bash hyphen bash Okay, this command is not working, right? So, yeah, some commands will not work properly. Okay. kubectl execute -it /bin/bash. We'll try that /bin/bash. kubectl get pods give pod name here. If you want to delete deployment, right? kubectl delete deployment name can give. Yeah. Currently, I move to pod here. I switch to pod. So to switch pod, this is the command /bin/bash. Now, if you give ls here, whatever the things are available, whatever modules available, whatever bin bash files available, we can move to instead of the pod like this. We can move to instead of the pod like this. This is the command. kubectl execute -it and pod name. Okay. So here containers will show you control PQ. Yeah. So to exit from the pod, this is the control PQ is the command to exit from the pod here. Yeah. Normally some commands will not work properly in test layer. That is why we are facing some issues. Okay, no problem. Fine. Next one is here power is down. Fine. I'll show you containers which are available inside of the pod. I'll show you. Don't worry. Next one is, yeah, to get all pod information. For example, if you want to get all pod information, whatever pods are available, all pod information. So the command here is kubectl get pods -o space YAML. So all pod information. So whatever pods are available, all pod information, if you want to get, you can give like this. Okay. So kubectl get pods -o and YAML. So yeah, here it is showing some pod information. Next one is, first we need to understand basic level, this basic level, that is why I'm giving like this. Yeah, next one is if you want to create any labels for the pods, labels, okay, how can we create labels? So that also we can cover today. Labels means normally in enterprise level, enterprise environments, so labels are very, very important. So labels are like, for example, Kubernetes pod labels. Kubernetes pod labels. Yeah. So labels normally, label means naming convention. Okay. Label means naming convention. So where we use these labels? Okay. For example, here we have one environment. Okay. Like labels, and inside of that we'll have selectors. Okay. So inside of that we'll have some web servers, right? Instead of that, we'll have some environments. Environment is production, for example, prod. Okay. So inside of this, we'll have some team members, teams, different teams, hyphen, team admin, team, whatever team, admin team, or development team, or testing team, for example, admin team, right? So like this structure will be there in real time. Every project will have some structure. This is front end team, for example, this is front end team, front end. Also the same way back end team also will be there, back end team also will be there. For back end, what we will do here, environment, production, and team, dev team, also application, app, some application, Nginx application, and also application version also we can give, app version. So we can give some 1.2.4 something. Okay, and this is front end, this is back end. DB also, every application will have front end, back end, and DB, right? So the same way DB team. So why we are showing this, why we are discussing this? So normally when we create any applications in the pods, so labels are very important. How to create labels, I'm trying to show you. Okay, DB team also will have environment will be production or production something. Okay, and team will be database team, DB team, right? And application, DB version, some version will be there, 2.3.1 something. Okay, so like this, labels will help you to maintain the naming convention. So in Kubernetes pods, so for example, if you go to console here, kubectl get pods, kubectl timeout, session timeout happened here. CentOS. Right. kubectl get pods. Yeah, see here. So when we check these pods, there is no naming convention here, right? So this pod is using for which team, which operations are happening in this, we are unable to understand, right? We cannot understand here because so it is showing just application name Nginx, that's it. But which team they are using this pod, we don't know, right? So here using labels, we can understand this pod is using for some application, this pod is using for some database, right? So that the teams, whoever working on this pod, so we can get using labels. Okay, when we assign labels, we'll get all the information about this pod. So in this pod, whatever applications are running, whatever databases are running, whatever applications are creating, whoever connected, what are the teams involved into this, all these things we can cover, we can understand. When we create labels will help you to understand whatever applications are we deployed on the pod. Okay, so that lab session we'll discuss tomorrow. We'll work on lab session tomorrow. So this will take some time. So how to assign some labels for this pod and how to check the pods, what are the things available inside of the pod. Okay, so we'll understand tomorrow. We'll create pod labels and how to connect that using. So we'll check tomorrow. Okay, and also tomorrow we'll check inside of the pod how many containers are there, how to log into the container, how to log into the container, what are the application available inside of the container, we'll try to understand, and how to delete the deployments. Okay, and also we'll cover one concept which is volumes, persistent volumes available in Kubernetes, that also we'll cover tomorrow. Okay, just we discussed basics today. Okay, tomorrow we'll work on all these things, and we have another concepts which are troubleshooting part also there. Troubleshooting part will take one session, so we'll cover troubleshooting also, Kubernetes troubleshooting. Okay, yeah, we stop here for today. So tomorrow we'll work on this labels creation, how to create labels, how to assign some different names to the labels like parts. All these things we'll cover tomorrow. Okay, fine. Just theory part today. Yeah. Yeah, Suresh, you can not post చేయండి ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ మీ ఇష్యూ. ఓకే,
Sir,
we'll
it
check it
works,
out.
sir. Sir, work
Sure, sir.
అవుతుంది.
వర్క్ అవుతుందండి.
Yes, అది నోట్ సర్వర్స్ ని కూడా స్టార్ట్ చేస్తే ఇది రన్నింగ్ వస్తుంది. నేను ఇప్పుడే ట్రై చేశాను, అది
Yeah,
స్టార్ట్
notes
చేసినప్పుడు
start-
రన్నింగ్ వస్తుంది. యా,
start
బట్
చేయాలండి.
ఎస్టర్డే మీరు నోట్ సర్వర్స్ ని స్టార్ట్ చేయలేదు, బట్ మీకు రన్ అయింది. బట్ టుడే when I did turn on the start, it worked for me.
Yeah. నోట్స్ స్టార్ట్ చేయకపోతే రన్ అవ్వదండి. మనకి ఎస్టర్డే కూడా ఐ స్టార్టెడ్ నోట్స్. వెన్ ఐ స్టార్టెడ్ సర్వర్స్, 3 servers I started yesterday. So today also we started nodes. Okay, if the nodes are running, then only this parts
Yeah,
will
this
be
is running correct. Yeah, sir, another request, sir. మీరు in any session, if you're copy pasting any commands from a document, మీరు అది ముందుగానే పోస్ట్ చేయండి సార్. సో ఎందుకంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను మీరు చేసేటప్పుడే ఐ విల్ డూ ఇట్ సైమల్టేనియస్లీ అన్నమాట. సో ఇట్ విల్ బి ఈజీ. యా,
షూర్, డెఫినెట్లీ.
Yeah,
నేను ఈ కమెంట్స్ అన్ని నేను వేరే డాక్యుమెంట్ లో ఉన్నాయి, మీకు షేర్ చేస్తానండి. డెఫినెట్లీ ఐ షేర్ దిస్ డాక్యుమెంట్ టుడే. ఓకే, So that-
నాట్ డాక్యుమెంట్ లైక్ ఎస్టర్డే మీరు కొన్ని YML ఫైల్ క్రియేట్ చేసినప్పుడు వి కాపీ పేస్టెడ్ రైట్ సంథింగ్ like when you create alantivi I cannot google right like what exactly you are doing, like certain comments I can google and then copy paste, but these things I don't know what exactly you are doing, right? So if you can share it beforehand, meeto party చేసేటప్పుడు it will be very easy అన్నమాట. అందుకని
డెఫినెట్లీ అండి, డెఫినెట్లీ నేను అడ్వాన్స్ గా షేర్ చేస్తాను మీకు. బిఫోర్ ది సెషన్ ఐ విల్ షేర్.
యా, థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. yes,
ఫైన్. సో ఇక్కడ స్టాప్ చేద్దామండి. మీరు సురేష్ మీరు కూడా చెక్ చేయండి. పార్ట్స్ విల్ స్టార్ట్ అండ్ those will run.
Sir, this scripting part is a bit confusing. So
ఏ స్క్రిప్టింగ్ అండి? YAML
YAML scripting, I face the same issue in like in Ansible and here also. So I mean the files you shared are fine, because when we get it from the Google, I am really finding it difficult to customize those scripts. So without having any knowledge about scripting, it's for me it is really difficult to customize those scripts, because in real times we might use different kind of applications and different kind of scripts, right? So we can't use those scripts that we have sent always. So even like in yesterday also you have given like, if you give some basic overview of scripting, so that would be better. So like you have given a container port number 80 in the yesterday script. I don't know when does it change, when we should give that port number, and how does it change. So if you have any knowledge about the scripting part, so that would be better. So I request if it's possible, you would take one complete session about scripting, so that might be useful. So we may get it on those scripts on Google, but we should know how to customize those scripts, right? So for that, at least
yeah, manifestation we'll discuss once again. Manifest files, whatever we created, I'll show you different manifest files, and basically this will be prepared by developers. Manifestation will be prepared by developers. Okay, I'll show you once again. Okay,
yeah, just basic overview, so that we can have an idea how to customize those scripts.
Definitely we'll discuss again. Okay, yeah, fine,
thank you.
Yeah, we stop here for today. So tomorrow we'll work on this labels lab session and volumes and different things we have. Okay, tomorrow we'll cover that, and also this manifestation one more time I'll explain. Okay, on Friday or Monday I'll explain. So tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we have some concepts. We'll cover that first. then we'll go with again manifestation one more time. Okay. Yeah, we stop here for today. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.